being visible. So
They can hear us.
they can't. I made sure of that.
Okay.
Now that you said that, I'm gonna go onto Twitch and make sure that we can't be heard.
It's a little boy. Lovely young man. Stinky. Smelly. Keeps getting trapped in my bathtub. No, my baklava.
Announcement. Everyone should probably just keep putting their pets and babies and kids in costumes for the next several days. It'll help.
So sad that I didn't manage to get that little skeleton pet sweater.
Oh.
Oliver would have hated it so much, but he would have been so fucking cute. Hi. Hey. There you are.
So the stream can hear us, which is great.
Yep.
Don't know how to make that not happen.
Don't reveal any personal information.
So my address is 300 Sex Lane. So, maybe if I do that, it'll stop. No.
Please stop bonking yourself against my laptop.
Well, I'm ready to start when you are, since we can be heard.
Ready to start, yeah.
All right. Hey, we're here.
Hello. I forgot the most important part.
The audio for that is great, but it looks fantastic. The sound of the cloth rubbing against your microphone.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Halloween. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It is truly the spookiest time of the year. This is our special Halloween episode of our weekly indie TTRPG night.
Joined by Mermaid Skeleton and Avery's least favorite of the many strange things that live in my home.
And what is it?
It is the angel.
It's just an angel, and I hate it so much.
Angel, she hates.
And it's watching me, and I hate it.
It doesn't have eyes, Avery. It can't watch you.
Listen, things without eyes can watch me. They can.
He's just a little guy.
Anyway, so apparently, like, when we're on, like, the starting soon screen, you could still hear us, which I didn't know until, like, right now. So that was fun. I'll figure that out somehow. But we're here now. So we're here playing a wonderful game by the name of Southern Holler. I almost said Southern Horror. Southern Holler.
It is a horror game.
It is a horror game.
What is it?
It's an incursion of, or a version of using the Trophy Dark system, which I was unfamiliar with until today. And it looks like a cool, fun, spooky system.
probably gonna buy the rule book and start planning a campaign after this.
Yeah, it's that cool. I'm gonna close out Twitch. Okay.
It is this what a trophy dark is the property of who the fuck? I know it's on the rule page somewhere.
Oh, it's
mean,
hang on, I'll find
to
it.
sound insulting, I think
Product of
Trophy
Jesse
Dark.
Product of Jesse
Yeah.
Ross and Hedge Maze Press.
Yes.
Yep. And the Southern Holler is made by Linda H. Kodega. They you can find them on Twitter as soon as I find their Twitter account. We're doing great here.
We're doing.
You can find them at @_Linfinn, LINFINN. And yeah, you can stop over there and watch and see their content that they've made. They're also on itch.io, like most of these artists that we've and games that we've played have been on.
We love supporting itch.io.
Itch.io is a great system, great site. Love it. So, Viko, why don't you tell me what this game is about?
The Trophy Dark system is about treasure hunters in a forest that does not want them there. Southern Holler is a
You can do it.
Appalachian.
Yeah, there it is.
Appalachian take on that particular genre. It's a small horror game about the supernatural, Appalachian culture, small towns, coal mines, nature. And the things people do in pursuit of treasure.
Yep.
It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna be super original about it. I'm gonna use the storyline as laid out in the rulebook. Because it's very interesting.
I haven't read it, so
Good,
this is
don't.
yeah. I haven't read it, so this is good.
So this is a game for one or more players and a GM. I'll be GMing tonight, and Avery will be my one player. We're gonna do the character creation and the monstrosity creation here on stream to show you how it works. It's all very quick and simple, so it's very easy to just jump right in.
Just show you how it's done.
So, Avery, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so there are 5 different little things I choose from on a character sheet. The first one being the name. So my character's name, her name is going to be Glory. Like glory, like the word glory. That's one of the options. So it's her name. It's gonna be Glory.
Yes.
Her occupation.
There are several available: miner, moonshiner, carpenter, dowser, tailor, lawhand, and preacher, and each of them have different skills that go along with it.
Right. I think a carpenter would be nice.
Okay, carpenters are skilled in crafts, trapping, and trade. You get an extra light die. It's a game played with 6-sided die. You get an extra light die if the thing that you're doing
You're skilled
involves
in.
one of your skills.
Right. Okay.
You can choose background.
Yes, so background we can pick from a zealous snake handler, a foxfire lorist, a renowned picker, a neighbor woman, an aspiring novelist, native child, head in the clouds, or engine tinkerist. I think I'm gonna pick neighbor woman.
She is skilled in healing. This game is really bringing back memories of some of what I studied in as an anthropologist. We in some of my classes we actually talked about specifically the Appalachian tradition of snake handling as part of Christian rites.
Could you talk about that a little bit? Because I'm actually really curious about that.
Yes, I do not remember very much.
Okay.
But traditionally in Appalachian Christian churches, like this was part of Christian Appalachian worship, one member would be of the congregation would be a snake handler, a person who literally handled a poisonous snake as a sort of ritual. The snake might be passed around to people in the congregation, or it would only be handled by the one snake handler. There's a high risk, obviously, of getting bitten, which I can't quite remember what the whole like meaning and reasoning behind it was, but it was very much about this like very direct connection to the divine and the and risk and death, which I suppose makes sense in as a place very steeped in the coal mining industry where life carried a lot of danger. Still carries a lot of danger. Their coal mines are still in business today. It's very interesting. Appalachian culture is not one that is necessarily recognized by the mainstream. If you, it's not always like we know the hallmarks of like Southern hospitality and New York City culture in New York City and culture in California. People don't always know like that Appalachia even has a specific culture of its own, but it does.
It does, and it's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it's just as valid as every other culture, and people should be cool about it.
Yeah, don't be a jerk about it.
Don't be a jerk. Often, criticisms of Appalachia and things related to Appalachian culture go hand in hand with classism and derision of the working poor. Appalachia is a notably impoverished region. So don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, don't be a jerk about it. Okay. So next up on the thank you for that, by the way, Vika. That was great. So the next thing I have to pick on our sheet is our drive, is my character's drive. So basically her motivations. I'm going to pick to earn enough money to take care of your sick family member. While I write that down.
Highlight one of these drives, which is to drive Redemption Jaeger out of business. I don't know who Redemption Jaeger is. He isn't actually mentioned anywhere else in this rulebook, so I enjoy the aspect of, like, there is one guy and I hate him.
It's one specific man and I want to ruin his life.
And now, if you would like to choose a ritual or two, she can choose up to 3 ritual that her character will know, but for each ritual that her character knows, her ruin will go up by 1. You start with 1 ruin, and once you reach 6 ruin, you are toast. You're done for.
Yeah, you're out. So they're essentially like my hit points, essentially, or like my sanity, in a sense.
Your character does not necessarily, like, for real die.
No. Something.
But
I lose control of her completely.
yes,
and
she becomes an NPC. That might happen tonight, and we may have to watch Avery make a new character.
Make a new character. We'll see. I am going to pick the Whittle ritual, which is an effigy that I can use to distract an enemy.
Great.
Which makes sense for her carpenter background.
So you now have 2 ruin. There is a way to reduce your ruin, but you can't start using it until you get to 5.
Yep.
And I don't know how exactly we're gonna play that when it's only the 1 PC here, because it does typically involve
being a dick to your other players.
Yeah. The rulebook states, when your ruin reaches 5, you may now reduce it when your character attempts subtle acts of sabotage against their companions or yourself. So, you could self-sabotage and you're...
Yeah, I can just be mean to myself. That's not hard. I know how to do that. Heyo.
So now I wanted you to go first because I didn't want you to, like... I wanted you to create a character that you thought would be interesting to play, and not a character who is made specifically to counter the monstrosity that I'm gonna create.
Aw, dang. Okay.
So to create a monstrosity, I roll a dark die and a light die to get 2 adjectives. So that's what I'm gonna do first. So my dark die was 2, so the first adjective is pale.
Ooh.
And my light die was 5, so quivering. Pale and quivering, and now I'm gonna roll those again and add it together. And that is... one of them fell. No, that is a 7. A coyote.
Ooh,
a
coyote.
Pale and quivering coyote. And now...
it's the monster. And we get the
motivation.
Yeah.
Or the behavior.
It's behavior, yeah.
Blocking, I got 4. So blocking the path. A pale and quivering coyote blocking the path.
Oh boy. Okay. One other thing we can do, there's a list of 36 haunting encounters with spirits and critters that I can choose from, or like I roll for, to see like what kind of moments or what kind of experience my character has had, what experience Glory has had. So I'm going to do that now. So I roll a dark dice and a light dice. For this, I'm literally doing a dark and a light dice because I can. So let me roll those together. That's so the dark 2 and a light 1. Saw the knockers of Karen Mine and recognized their cries. Okay. Don't know what knockers are?
think that might, based on what has appeared in the rest of the book, that might be another term for will-o'-the-wisps.
Oh, okay.
Fun, right?
Okay. And I heard their cries. Okay. No, I think it's so knocker. It's a mythical human-like creature. Or Tommy Knocker. They're like little people in the United States. Yeah. So they're basically like little almost like leprechauns.
Ah.
That like live in the mines.
American coal mine leprechauns.
Pretty much. I could recite
learning new things. I love that.
Yeah, I could just go and recite the Wikipedia page, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So she's been to the mines before, and she's seen these strange creatures living there. But yeah, I will leave it up to you to begin our story. Now that I don't know if there's anything else we have to do to prepare.
Nope, I don't believe so.
All right, paint me a word picture.
First, I want to explain how Southern Holler and A Trophy Dark, like how the story works. It's run in rings, which the rulebook says scenes to play out or small worlds to explore. So each ring is one level like deeper or further into the story and towards either the goal or your ruin.
Fun.
So we're gonna start with ring 1. I think it's interesting because, like, you know, the rings of hell.
Yeah, that's sort of what came to mind for my mind as well. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna recite the terror of ring 1 here, at least a little bit of it. A well-known mine, previously thought to be active, has been shut down due to issues with its structural integrity. You know the way, you know someone who worked this vein. There is no posting and no signage at the entrance, but a large mining vehicle has been moved in front of the gash in the mountain. Around the entrance are signs indicating police presence. How would you like to proceed?
Well, I will
loving the accent here.
Thank you. I'm gonna clutch my my shirt a little bit, and I'm gonna step forward. I'm gonna try and avoid notice from anybody who's here.
You can spot a couple of they're in plain clothes, but you recognize them as local police. They don't have a whole lot of like actual authority here. They're just kind of here as a bit of a visual deterrent.
Okay.
And they don't seem to notice you yet.
All right. I'm just gonna see if I can just walk by. Just walk by. Just walk in. Just walk in without being noticed.
You like to?
I mean, I
don't think this necessarily counts as a risky task, does it?
I mean, so it says so I say what I hope will happen, and I'll ask you what could possibly go wrong. So
Well, you could be spotted.
yeah, it could be spotted. So I'm hoping to be able to get in to the mine without being spotted. So
And what could go wrong is
getting caught.
getting caught.
Yeah. So, and I don't necessarily have a skill in this, so the only way I can get a die to roll is to make a bargain or to risk my character's mind or body in order to succeed, which is add a dark colored die.
Would you like to do either of those?
I mean, I can try making a. You can offer me a devil's bargain.
Yes.
So
I think this will be interesting. You can, um, so I can offer you a bonus light die to add to your risk pool, but while you may not attract any attention now, at some point this is going to net you some unwanted attention.
okay, I'll take it.
Right.
I mean, I heard there's money down here, or something that can get me some money down here, and I need money, so this is my last choice. Um, so so rolling this die, if I roll a 1, 2, or 3, I fail and things get worse. 4 or 5 is a mixed success, so I succeed, but something bad happens, and a straight 6 is a success. So tough roll. That's a 4.
You succeed, but there are some complications. So you do manage to get in, but in doing so, you end up dropping. I assume you have like some sort of handbag or like
Yeah,
tote with you.
I do.
You end up dropping that somewhere that can't be
Retrieved.
where it can't be easily retrieved.
Okay. I mean, I don't. I had a torch in there, but that's all. Whatever. I'm just gonna go in. I see my moment to chance. I see my moment to get in before one of them passes by again, and so I'll sneak in.
Okie doke. Inside for the first few feet, it's dim, but you can still see there's some machinery around, some equipment. There is evidence of a cave-in, which is why the mine has been shut down. Because of structural integrity issues. It looks as if it may have been empty longer than you at first supposed. You only recently heard that it was shut down.
Is the equipment like older than it should be?
Yes.
Okay. Like it hasn't been kept up.
Right.
Okay. That's weird. Whatever. I'm just gonna push on through. I'm gonna like keep my hand against the wall, just because I don't have a light source anymore. I'm just gonna hold on, like keep my contact with the left side of the wall, just so I can make sure that I am still at least following a path.
You start to hear a strange sort of cat-like cry from deeper in.
What kind of cry is it?
Like a cat.
Cat.
Like not a meow, but you know when a cat is pissed off and it like
Yeah.
makes this awful yowl.
Like a yow.
Yes.
Thing? Okay.
You start to hear that.
Oh. Hello. It's all right. I'm not gonna hurt you. And I'm gonna walk towards the sound of the voice. It's okay. It's okay. It's just I'm not gonna hurt you, and I'm gonna like put my hands up and keep walking forward.
From out of the darkness, or it's dark enough in here that you can't fully see its. You can see that it's much bigger than you expected. It's not a small. It's not a house cat. It is a. Well, specifically, it's a catamount, which is a kind of wild cat. It's similar to a cougar in size, but and it is pitch black, and as it comes closer to you, you notice at first it seemed large and like imposing. I mean, it's like cougarish in its size, but then you notice that it appears to be starving. It's very skinny and weak looking. And it yowls at you again.
Can I say I have like some jerky or something in my back pocket?
Sure.
Okay, I'll pull out some jerky and I'll hold it out and I'll say, it's for you. It's for you. And I'll place it down gently in front of me and like take a step back.
Approaches, and you notice that there's a scar across one side of its face, down over its shoulder, and the leg on that side seems to be damaged such that it can't put weight on it.
Oh, sweetheart. Oh, you must be so hurt.
As you talk and move, it kind of flinches back and...
I'm sorry.
And approaches a little bit slower, looks at you, kind of... Approaches, bends down, picks up the jerky, and turns around and runs, disappears. You lose it very quickly in the shadows, deeper into the mine.
Oof. Well, that's the direction I'm going, so I'm gonna slowly start to follow it. Or not necessarily follow it, but just head deeper into the mine.
From outside, you hear a voice say, "Did you hear that? Is that a... What was... Sounds like a herd animal."
I'm gonna run now. I'm gonna run.
I'll go check it out. And there's the shine of a flashlight, making it doesn't hit you yet, but you can see one of the policemen making their way into the cave.
Okay, I'm gonna start running.
Okay. So you think about what happens. There's really not a whole lot of substance provided by the rulebook. It's very evocative, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just like a vague guideline, so we're going a bit off the rails here.
That's okay.
Know what to do. So as you run, it's getting very dark now. You can't entirely see where you're going. You can't really see anything, and then out of the dark, this massive pale shape appears, and it's in your way. It's filling up the entire corridor. This huge... Is it huge or is it small? It's... When you first see it, it seems huge. It just comes out of nowhere. 1 second it's not, and then suddenly it's in front of you, and then as you look at it closer, you see that it's a coyote, which are actually quite small.
Okay.
It just has this presence that's quite large, even though it's kind of like shaking a little, like it's cold. And it is just absolutely in your way. It is staring you down.
I'm gonna back up slowly because I know how dangerous it could be. I'm gonna look around for any other paths, see if I can maybe see where that catamount went.
Okay, for each step back that you take, it takes a step forward. But it's not closing the distance between you two, it's just keeping it steady.
I don't. I'm gonna look back. And I guess what I'm looking for is not down here, because this thing is in the way.
When you look back, you are just about, like, you get hit with like a beam of light, and the flashlight lowers, and it's just this older gentleman. You know him from town. Goes, Glory, what are you doing down here?
Sorry, Gideon. I was. I just kind of got lost. I thought there was a path home down this way, but I guess there wasn't.
Not sure how you could have slipped past me and Jeb, but let's get you out of here, all right, Glory?
Yeah, thank you, Gideon.
No problem at all.
And
I turned back.
Yeah, I turned back.
At one point, the coyote's nowhere to be seen, and Gideon didn't notice it at all.
Okay. All right, I will walk out with Gideon.
He walks you out to the mouth of the cave. He pats you on the shoulder and he explains that there's another mine that some people use as a landmark for a shortcut back toward town.
Right, yeah.
But it's further south from here, and you're not actually supposed to go inside. You just reach the mine and then use that as like a landmark to turn down the path. But he understands how you could have gotten confused.
Yeah, the whole...
He's being very... He's very jovial and oblivious. He does not think you were in there on purpose.
No, you know how sometimes you hear something and then you want to make sure if someone's hurt, you want to make sure they're okay. And I thought I heard someone in there, but it wasn't anybody. But
these old mines, you hear all sorts of things coming up, but you know, that good heart is why everyone likes you, Glory. But you just try and rein it a little. We wouldn't want you to get hurt yourself.
Yeah, you're right.
He pulls out from his pats his pockets and eventually finds what he's looking for and pulls out a sort of raggedy handkerchief and goes, "Here for your," and he motions to your hands, and you notice that the hand that you had on the wall to lead you into the cave is covered in coal residue.
So it's black?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it from shaking. I'm gonna hold it up and I'm gonna take the handkerchief and I'm gonna wipe it off and do you want back or?
You
okay.
I've got another around here somewhere. You keep it.
I'll pocket it. Can I also pick up my pack, my bag?
Yes.
Okay. I must have dropped something when it was such a hurry. I'm just gonna go grab it real quick. I'll just pick it up and I'll sling it around my shoulder.
Also notices you now. It's like, Glory! He's like, Gideon and Jeb are both about the same age. They're in their 50s or 60s. They're nominally police, but
Hey, Jeb. Yeah. Hey, Jeb.
Good to see you. Are you coming to Marie's birthday party tomorrow night?
Oh, yeah. I should be able to come, yeah.
Good to hear, good to hear. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, of course. Wouldn't think any differently.
Marie is his granddaughter. She's 12.
12.
Indeed. Her birthday party is it's well known that in Jeb's family the kids' birthday parties they'll happen in the afternoon, and then afterwards the kids go to bed, the adults get together and drink moonshine from Jeb's wife's still.
Of course. Murray, gosh, Gail's moonshine is the best thing I've ever tasted.
She'd be happy to hear you say that, Glory.
Of course. Alright, I have to get going. I'll see you two later.
See ya.
See ya.
Be safe on the walk back, Glory.
Of course, I will.
You leave, and that is the end of... Not quite the end of Ring 1. As you're looking in your bag on the way home to get your keys out, you notice that something very important and very personally identifiable to you is missing from the bag. Do you like to describe what that object might be?
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be like an ID, but something that, like, if someone says it, it sees it, they would all know, oh, that belongs to Glory.
yeah. Keychain on my keys. It's an old gift from a former partner of mine. It's something she made herself. A little wooden carved little figurine. I carry it with me all the time, and it's gone. I don't really think much about it, but I'll get in my car and drive home.
The end of Ring 1.
Okay.
You have managed not to gain any more ruin.
Oh, thank
You are
God.
still at 2. You have encountered the black catamount of the abandoned mine, and you have encountered the pale quivering coyote. And
okay.
you have also attracted unwanted attention.
Yep.
Of which you do not know yet. Yeah, the unwanted attention was not Jeb and Gideon.
I figured.
Move on to Ring 2.
Okay. I'm heading out back in the woods.
You are off to Jeb's family's house. It is Marie's birthday. The actual party is like kind of whatever. You come pretty late, around 5 or 6. Like late enough to like be around for an hour or two, wish happy birthday to little Marie. She just kind of regards you the way most kids like regard their parents' friends, like, hey. And eventually she and her friends go to bed, and you all like go out to, all of the adults kind of migrate out to the old barn that's on Jeb's property. And his wife, Gail, starts breaking out the bottles.
Nice. All right.
Also, I would like to mention that all day it has sort of been threatening rain, but it hasn't started raining yet.
Okay. Well, good thing the party's inside. Yeah. I'll have a few drinks. Or really just one drink, because that's all it takes, really, for me. And then I'll probably see myself out. I'll say thank you so much, and I'll say goodbye to little Maria. And
as you're thinking of heading out, probably around like 10 p.m., I'd say, someone kind of sidles up to you, and it is, you think of a character. It's, Rose, last name.
You don't have to come up with a last name. I haven't come up with a last name for Glory.
That's true. It's Rose.
It's Rose.
Rose is a somewhat shady character about town.
Okay.
She's known to have her fingers in a lot of pies, a lot of get-rich-quick schemes. She's someone that everyone kind of wants to be on the good side of because no one wants to see her bad side, but also no one wants to be in her debt.
That is true. Okay.
Um, well, look at you, Miss Glory.
Oh, look at.
Fancy running into you here.
Well, look
And
at
then
you,
she
Miss.
laughs because, like, everyone in town is here, so of
Yeah.
course you would run into each other.
Yeah. Funny running into you, Miss Rose. What? Can I help you with something, or do you need something?
Well, I think maybe we can help each other, Glory. And she, like, pulls her hand out of her pocket, and dangling on her finger is the, little wooden key charm that you had lost. Goes.
Uh,
She kind of.
I like reach out to swipe for it.
She pulls it back. She goes, ah.
Where'd you find that? I thought I lost it.
Now, what were you doing down by the old mine?
I was heading home. I got lost.
Now, Glory. In front of God and everyone, you're gonna lie to me like that?
All right. I was looking for something, but it's nothing to do with nothing that bothers, nothing that matters to you.
Now, maybe you let me be the judge of that, honey.
What do you want?
I don't want much. Little cut of your finder's fee, maybe.
Listen, everything I got is going towards my pa. You know this.
I know that. But
You really want to take
Don't
things away from my pa? The state he's
take
in.
nothing away from your pa that you haven't got yet. Now listen, Glory. Since the mine shut down, it's only a matter of time before the money in this town starts to trickle away.
Yeah.
So one of us finds a new vein somewhere stable. That's gonna help everyone. Ain't that right?
Okay. Sure
It's
does.
gonna help you. It's gonna help your pa in the long run. If we can get, you know, the economy.
Yeah, the economy. Everyone cares so much about.
You don't need to tell me. I know exactly where you're coming from, Glory.
Can I have my keychain back? It's important to me.
Oh. Here you go.
Thank you.
She drops it into your hand. But you just think about what we've talked about, all right?
I will. You'll. If I find anything, I'll make sure you get some of it. All right, or make sure that you know.
Sweet of you. I want us to be friends, Miss Glory. Real good friends.
Of course, want nothing else either.
Makes me happy to hear. Now you have a good night.
You too. You too. And I'm gonna just put my head down and just walk out.
As you were talking, it started to rain outside. But the rain smells kind of weird.
I'm gonna put my hand out. How does it feel in my hand?
It's clear, it's liquid. But it smells a lot like the moonshine everyone is drinking inside.
Oh, like let some catch on my hand and I'll taste it.
Alcohol.
Mm.
Some other people come outside and, like, some of them are super blasted and are just like, wild. It's God must want us to party tonight. But some of them are like sober and they're just and they are like exchanging glances with you, like,
What the
what
fuck?
the back door of Jeb's house opens and you see Marie and her older sister peering out, and the older sister, Jane, yells, Pa? Grandpa? There's a... There's something wrong with the pipes. I think someone dumped something into the well, or... I mean, it all smells like... Well, it all smells like moonshine.
I'm just gonna back up slowly. For some reason, this is starting to get unnerving to Glory, and she's just gonna back out of the situation. That's the only thing she can think to do is just walk away.
It starts to rain, like, there's this very heady alcohol mist that's also rising up from the ground just from all of the rain falling.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, there's moonshine falling from the sky. There is, like, the scent of alcohol everywhere. It is somewhat, it's making you a little dizzy.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave my car where it is, and I'm just gonna walk home. Uh, uh, um, I guess I'll turn onto one of the streets that down my street and turn towards my house and sort of stagger home. I'm feeling real dizzy. And even though I only drank I only had like 2 shots of that moonshine because it is potent thing stuff. Uh, I'm gonna stagger home if I can. If there's as long as nothing gets in the way. Hmm. You're frozen on my end. Oh no. All right. Vico froze. So we're gonna take a quick pause. um, we'll be right back. All right. Hey.
Beep. I have returned.
Awesome. Okay, ready to go back?
Yes.
Oh, hang on, my video is not working. 1 second.
Just one technical difficulty after another tonight.
Yep.
Always on Saturdays.
Always on Saturdays. Okay, ready to go back?
Yes.
Okay, dogs. And we're back. Okay.
Back. Sorry, I had a technical difficulty with my laptop.
Full on, did it full on crash?
It froze.
It froze. Gross. Alright, but we're back. We're back. Hey, we're back.
And while we were gone, I was like looking at the rulebook again. I feel like I'm not doing this right, but I don't actually know how to do it right, so we're just gonna keep winging it.
We're gonna keep winging it. But this is how we do it.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, Linda Kadega.
They'll be fine with it. It's okay. We're creating horror. That's all we can ask for.
Where were we?
Where were we?
You
walking
were
home.
walking home.
Yeah.
In the alcohol rain.
In the alcoholic rain, yes.
You're feeling very dizzy.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this pale shape
Oh, jeez.
come out in front of you in this road, and it just kind of looks at you. It's the coyote again. It's very damp and kind of bedraggled. It looks a lot less regal now because it's just like absolutely soaked with booze. It actually looks a little grumpy, like it's giving you this look like, what the fuck? What is this?
Oh.
What are we?
I'm just gonna take a step back.
It kind of looks in the direction of your house, and then it looks back at you, and it kind of seems like it's coming to a decision. It just goes, oh, and steps out of your way.
Alright, I'm gonna step forward and I'm gonna walk past it. I'm gonna not take my eyes off it until I'm far enough away that I can safely sprint into my house.
Okay.
And I do that. I don't know if that requires a roll or anything.
No, it's letting you go past.
Alright. Cool. I do that then.
But it is making it, as you like inch past, it is making very direct eye contact with you. It's kind of like going like, you see what happens? See what fucking happens? Dumb humans. You see this shit?
You see this shit? Kids these days, am I right? Anyway.
Sapient species these days. Fuck.
Yep. Alright.
What do you do once you get home?
I'm gonna shower because I'm covered in booze. I'm gonna dump my clothes in the washer at my shower and try and get the image of that coyote out of my mind and the sticky alcohol off my skin. And then I'm gonna lie in bed, eyes wide open until sleep comes for me.
Your house is connected to the municipal water supply?
Oh my god, no, the water is alcohol too, ain't it?
The shower is booze too.
As soon as I turn the water on, And then I just lay in bed. Then I was clothed, fully clothed, just lay in bed and just
stinking like the aftermath of a frat party. Minus the weed. There was no weed going on.
No.
These people do not spend their money on weed.
Nope.
Except maybe Rose.
So definitely. Alright, then yeah, I guess I'll just sleep the way this is.
Okay. Over the next couple of days, everyone kind of felt like the situation was gonna, it was a temporary thing, but after a couple of days, people are like, it's not getting flushed out of the well or the pipes. It's someone swings by, Gail swings by. She's this nice, very butch older lady, dressed in flannel. And she swings by one day and she goes, the kids tried the crick earlier today.
How'd it go? Still.
Well, that's booze too.
Do we know what caused this? A spill of some kind, or?
But we were thinking, but if it were, then
It would have been gone by now.
days like these remind me of what my grandpa used to say. Well, he never encountered something like this, but he said to say sometimes the mountains just ain't happy with us. Turn against us.
That's all? That's the only explanation?
Me. Can't really think of what else it is, but well, we're gonna. God, I feel so stupid saying this, but my grandpa also used to say that there was this old well on his property, said we never used it, except said it used to drop the sweetest water, but only if you could sing it a song first.
You think what? We have to sing it a song and the water will come back?
Maybe. All I know is I'm getting real tired of booze. Never thought
Tell me
I'd say
about
that. And my girls, the granddaughters. Well, if you want to come watch me embarrass myself, I'm going to go down to Grandpappy's old house and see if I can sing that well into giving me something non-alcoholic.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing the same, maybe to the crick. Maybe that might help.
Good luck to you.
And,
hey, you ain't happened to see. No, you forget about it.
seen what?
I'm getting old over here.
No, I mean, if we can have alcohol rain from the sky, I mean, what else could possibly happen here? I've been seeing a coyote lately.
That's what I was gonna ask you about. Some people have been saying there's this white coyote.
Yeah,
Could just be an albino.
I saw it in the mines. I was down there.
In the mines. What would it be doing?
I don't know, but it was
No,
in.
that's not. Couldn't be.
Couldn't be what?
Well, this is from the other side of the family, you see? My grandpappy had his, and my great aunt had hers.
Right.
And hers was. Well, sometimes. Well, sometimes. There'd be animals of strange colors. Showing up when times were tough, and now she never told me, never got a clear answer on whether they were there to help or there to make it worse, but
Or
they
just
were
bad
there.
omens. Just bad omens.
Bad omens. You be careful out there, Glory.
Yeah. I will. You too.
And maybe stay out of the mines for a bit.
Yeah, I didn't mean to be down there, or... It's a long story.
My oldest, Jeb Jr.
Yeah.
said he saw that coyote before the mine collapsed. So, I'd be careful if I were you, Miss Glory.
I will. I guess I'll go sink to a creek or something. See if that works. I ain't got nothing better to do.
Lord, what have we come to?
Yeah. What indeed. Alright.
I wish you luck.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you.
Okay. And I'm gonna head down to the creek.
From a distance, it doesn't look any different from how it usually does. It's not like overflowing or dried up. You can see you don't see any fish. Usually there's at least a couple, and the plants around the edges are looking kind of thirsty.
Yeah. Or a little drunk, maybe. I'll kneel down next to the water, and I guess I'll start singing. I'm singing a sweet song of something I hope ain't too long. This little ditty is my little very pretty. Do love you do so much. Please water come back. Don't you slack. Come on back to me. Should I roll?
Why not?
Am I skilled in this?
Are you skilled in this?
Does this count as healing? This count as healing?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Can I argue for maybe a black die? Because just
Are you willing to?
I mean, she's doing something that is not normal. That's not really. I think she's willing to sacrifice her mind.
Hey, we can do a black die.
All right.
Wow.
Wow. All right.
A
So
dark colored die. So you have one light colored die, one dark colored die.
Yep.
And you are going to take the
Highest one.
The highest one.
That's a 6, and the 6 was a light one, so my ruin does not go up.
If the dark colored die were the higher roll, then
my ruin would increase.
Okay.
That's a 6, so I succeed.
You do.
I don't really know how to describe it. I guess the water or the alcohol water starts to bubble a little bit and churn around and and then that smell of the acrid smell of alcohol kind of dissipates, and it smells like fresh water, and she'll put her hand in the water and smell it and drink it, and it tastes like fresh water. I think.
Fresh water.
Yes, okay.
It tastes a little
mixed.
There's some sort of dusty
I'll put my hand in and let it use my fingers to kind of strain it. See if I can.
Okay. It's drinkable. It's not going to kill you, but
okay.
You are finding some coal particulate.
Oh god, they put activated charcoal in here. It's gonna negate all my medication. Oh jeez Louise. Oh no, my Prozac. Lordy me, my Prozac. My spironolactone.
At least there's not grapefruit in it, too.
Oh no, grapefruit.
You detect a hint of.
Oh no!
If you'd rolled a 4 or a 5, there would be a hint of.
Just grapefruit. A grapefruit floating down. Oh no!
Oh my god, people don't often tell. It's usually on the medication bottle, but for a lot of medications, you should not be consuming grapefruit.
Don't. Yeah, it's pretty. This is a PSA. Now you know.
You should also not be consuming activated charcoal unless you have literally poisoned yourself and need to unpoison yourself, because that shit will negate your shit.
Negates all the shit. Everything. And then you'll be pooping.
Birth control, that's gone.
That's gone. Everything. Out of here.
Took your SSRIs, those are gone. Anyway. A little bit of coal.
Oh.
Coal taste.
I'll look.
Creek, it runs down from up in the mountains.
Yeah, I'll look upstream.
In the valley.
I'll look upstream. And
slowly the alcohol scent starts to come back, and you realize that the song only purified the water for a little bit, and if you want more water, you're gonna have to sing again.
Well, it works. That's the weirdest thing. I say to myself, all right, I'm gonna stand up. I can't just do this all day.
You do feel great, though. The water, it was not... Generally speaking, you would not have enjoyed drinking water that had, that dusty, gritty mineral taste to it. But this is, after the past couple days, this is the best water you have ever tasted.
Oh, I'm grateful for it. Truly grateful. All right, I'm gonna I think I'm gonna head home and I'm gonna gather my things and then I'm gonna go back to the creek and I'm gonna head upstream because if there's coal in the water, there might be coal. There might be a fresh mine somewhere, fresh vein.
All right. We're going to close out of Ring 2
Oh
and
boy,
enter into Ring 3.
here we go.
I'm loving this so far.
Me
I hope you
too.
are too. I'm
I
having a
am.
blast.
I'm having great. I'm really loving my accent I'm doing. It's pretty good.
I love the accent. I'm starting to do it even when I'm not like meaning to do the accent.
Yeah, that happens.
Um, I just love these kind of like folksy horror
Mm-hmm.
where it's not something that'll give you nightmares, but it is like unsettling.
Mm-hmm. Give me more. Give me more. I want more horror. Give me more. Ring 3. Ring 3.
So just as an aside, on your way back home, you run into Gail, and she has like on each arm, she's got big buff arms. She's got this like 10-gallon bucket of water,
Oh
like
man.
in each hand. And she's just like, she meets your eyes and she goes, "Well, it worked."
It worked. Yeah, it worked.
Worked. Lordy, lordy. And she's bringing them home. Her one of her sons, she has like 5 sons. 2 of them are trans. And one of them like comes out of the general store and sees her with these big buckets. It's like, "Mama, you let me take that for you." And you just pass this little like
this
this little moment of drama
family. Yeah.
on your way home.
I go, ooh, and I walk past.
Marie also promises to bring your dad some of the water because
Okay. Thank you. I'm truly grateful.
just so no one viewing worries about Chloe's dad.
Yeah, he's sick.
And
He's sick, but he's not the focus of the story.
he's sick, and all he's been drinking for the past couple of days
This
is
has been-
magical booze.
He's a what we call a MacGuffin.
MacGuffin.
That's his name actually, MacGuffin.
Yeah. His parents had a weird sense of humor.
Yeah. All right.
So anyway, you gather your things, you go back.
Yeah. All right, and I'm gonna start heading upstream.
Heading stream. It is a hot ass day. It is hot out. Like unseasonably warm. I'm gonna say it's October in our story. It is like, if you did not know it was October, you'd be like, this is the height of summer. It is so damn hot.
Oh, it must be humid too, with the low boiling point of the booze water.
It's muggy.
Ugh.
Everything smells like booze. You're kind of sticky because you haven't been able to take like a shower.
A shower.
You've been getting by with like moist towelettes for the past couple days.
Yeah.
And those don't really do much.
No, they don't. My hair's a mess. Everything's just a mess. It's fine. Never think about how much you use water than when you don't have it. Yep. All right. I'm heading upstream.
And you're kind of starting out in the woods that are like at the base of the mountain in the valley where the town is. You can see the mountains rising above. You start heading up to an incline. The creek gets a little bit faster, narrower. Still booze.
Still booze. Can I say this is a good moment to introduce one of the moments part of the game. That they say they're part of the game. So these moments are meant to create flavor in your game. Use them to create a sense of mystery, secrecy, and locality. Tread lightly upon the cold mountain because it sees you. Can I pick one, or you can pick one? I'll let you pick one since I asked for one.
Think of which one's gonna work best for.
Just drinking that apple juice straight from the bottle, huh?
Yep.
No shame. Just in front of our million viewers.
They already know who I am. They already know what kind of person I am. I don't need to pretend not to be a gremlin.
They know what you're about, yeah.
And if you didn't, you know now. On the floor, all the pine needles point in the same direction.
Oh, that's unsettling.
It is slightly diagonal to the path that you are taking.
I think kind of subconsciously, Glory starts following the path that the pine needles lead, that they're all pointing in the same direction, so she kind of angles herself to follow in that direction as well. I think that's something she'll do.
Okay. So you start to move further and further away from the creek. And as you do, the smell of alcohol you kind of leave it behind.
Oh, thank God.
It was strongest around the creek where there was the highest concentration of liquid, but now you're kind of out of there. And it's still kind of clinging a little bit to like your hair and some of the trees around you, but it's not as overpowering.
Yeah.
It's still hot and humid and gross, and
what time of day is it?
it's starting to get toward noon. The sun is like almost right over you.
All right. Keep pushing on.
You get out sort of out of the trees. There's no more pine needles on the ground because there aren't any. You're in a clear area. And you sort of notice that you've kind of moved a little bit past where you had meant to be going. Like, you're now heading in a direction that's like away from the mountain, or not away from the mountain, but like if you keep going this way, you're gonna just move. You're pretty sure you're just gonna walk straight past it.
Okay.
Like strafe the edge of it and not actually climb it.
Okay. That's fine by me. I'm trying to figure out trying to see if I can find a mine anywhere near. See if I can notice anything.
My plan has been a little derailed here because I had planned for you to continue following the creek, and then you decided to follow the pine needles, and I'm just kind of like,
Hey.
Do you keep moving in that direction? Because I can work with it. Do you keep moving in that direction?
Yeah, I'll keep moving in that direction. I think once the pine needles start like disappearing and no longer directing it, I like realizing like I've stepped away from the creek, and I'm gonna try and like walk in a direction where I think I can intersect the creek again, with my knowledge. Yeah.
This way now,
Yeah.
instead of that way.
Yeah.
Okay, you walk. The sun is like right over you now. It's very hot. You're hoping to get into some shade soon. You know that like there's kind of these sections of the mountain that are forested and not forested going up and it's more forested in the area surrounding the creek. So you're hoping soon you'll get there. And you finally do. There's all the pine needles again. It's just like
Ignore him this time. I just keep following.
Ignore him. And you go back to the creek and you start following it. And the mountain is rising above you over the trees, and you look up and you realize, like, even though you have been going sort of in diagonally, but in a sort of forward direction, the angle that you're looking at it is like you're back at the base of the mountain again.
I'm like looking around, and I'll walk up to a tree and or I'm gonna see if I can find a rock at the base of the in the water. I'm gonna take a rock and I'm just gonna like carve something into a tree, just a mark, just to see, just like mark where I've been. Okay. And then I'll keep following the creek.
Following it, you get to sort of openish area where there's less trees, and then you move back into a more heavily forested area again, and you see the mark on the tree that you left. And you do that a couple of times. It's like the span of maybe 20-ish minutes of walking each time, where you leave, you enter into a less forested area and then go back into the heavily forested area, and doing that seems to just bring you back to the start of the path.
I'm gonna sit down next to the tree that I marked, and I'm gonna I'm gonna just sit there, and I'm just gonna try and keep my calm because I'm starting to freak out a little bit. Pull out maybe a couple, like a granola bar or something I had in my bag. Just because I knew I was going to be out here a while, so I just munch on a granola bar.
Like that for a couple of minutes, and you're just like munching your granola bar, trying to keep calm, and you feel something touch your elbow.
I jump. I look.
You hear a little, and it is the catamount that you met in the mines the other day. And it is looking at you, and it is... Hey, Oliver. Thank you for coming up. Yeah, I was just talking about a big black cat. And here you are.
Yes.
And it kind of blinks at you, and it like walks in a circle around you in the tree, and then starts walking in the direction opposite where the pine needles are. So it like kind of goes across the creek and past it, and then it like looks back, kind of backtracks a little, and looks at you and goes back, and it's like,
all right, I'm gonna follow it then. I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna slowly follow it.
is leading you, and you get a little ways away from the creek, but you sort of, it stays in sight as you're walking. You're not entirely sure how that's possible because you're walking like diagonally away from it, but it stays in sight. But you don't, you go into a less forested area, you enter into a heavily forested area again, and you're looking around for the tree that you marked, and you don't see it.
Thank goodness. Maker. All right. Is the cutamount still there?
Yeah, every time it seems to get like a little bit away from you, it like doubles back and comes back. It's like it thinks that it needs you to lead it exactly. Like even though you're only going in one direction and you have the pine needles to like kind of compare your direction to, it's like, no. If she can't see me, she'll get lost.
Okay.
It's being very cute, which is kind of unsettling because it's huge and it's still like
dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It looks very hungry still, but it's also like being very nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow it because laugh is already so goddamn weird. I'll continue to follow it.
So you are progressing up the mountain. It is taking a long damn while.
Yeah.
Like you're not like stuck in the loop, but it is taking longer than it would normally.
What time of day is it?
It's starting to get towards late afternoon.
Oh, jeez.
3 or 4.
All right.
And as you're like noting this, you hear the catamount let out a.
I look back towards it.
Oliver's ear just twitched. And it is in full angry cat mode. Look, like, because there is something blocking your path. Would you like to guess what it is?
Is it a pale coyote?
It is a pale coyote, and they are looking at each other, and they are not happy. They are eyeing each other, and they are not happy with each other. They're not friends. They're not attacking each other, but they're definitely not friends.
I'm gonna take a step forward, and I'm gonna say, "Hey." Like my hands are her hands are shaking, but she's trying to be confident in this moment. She's like, "You get out of here and let us through."
And the catamount, as if to like emphasize what you just said, like adds like a little onto the end, and the coyote just kind of like looks from the catamount and up to you and back and kind of makes this like, it doesn't say anything, but you can tell it's kind of asking what your purpose is.
I'm trying to find a mine, a new one. I found coal back there in the water. It has to mean there's a new mine somewhere.
Kind of lets out a like doggy woof. Not a woof, a woof.
Yeah.
A huff. A puff.
A puff.
And blow your house.
Blow your house down.
I spend most of my time around cats. I don't know what dogs do. but it kind of huffs. It's not impressed with your answer.
I'm gonna take out the keychain that I have, which I'm counting as my little effigy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take it, and we're gonna say, "You're gonna get out of here," and I'm gonna hold it out to him, and I'm gonna chuck it to distract it.
Are you using Whittle?
Yes, I'm using Whittle, so I need a ruin roll, right?
That is, in fact, a ruin roll because you are using your ritual.
Okay.
See how ruin rolls work. When your character witnesses or undergoes something disturbing. Oh, so I should have had you do this during Ring 2 as well.
Yeah.
It's fine, but you're also, so you're doing a ritual. So that's a ruin roll anyway. You must include this die, so you use a dark colored die. Would you say that this ritual also, like, falls under one of your skills, or are you just...
I mean, trapping or trade, maybe?
I wouldn't call it a trade, I don't think, because you're trying to distract it, not
Okay.
bargain with it.
Okay. Alright, so whatever I roll, if it's higher than a 2, then my ruin increases.
But you also want it to be higher than a 2 so you can actually...
Yeah, so I can actually succeed. Oh, technically my ruin... So when last time I rolled a dark die, I rolled higher than my current ruin, so my ruin should have gone up anyway.
Ah.
So it's at 3.
So you're at 3.
Yeah, so I'm at 3 now. Okay. Now let me roll my current dice and see what I get.
What?
That's a 5. I did roll higher than my current ruin, so it goes up by 1. So I'm at 4 now. But it's mixed success.
It takes a minute. The coyote is kind of like you can see it kind of fighting against its dog instinct of like, and then it takes off after the little keychain.
Okay.
You are absolutely never getting that keychain back.
I don't intend to, and I'm gonna book it. I don't know if you heard that, or if the stream heard that. That was someone.
I did hear that.
Revving their engines hardcore down my street. It's okay. Anyway, Glory's gonna book it.
Okay, the Catamount is also booking it. You get the feeling that it was only like pretending to be brave because you were there, and now that it doesn't have to, it's like, oh, let's get the hell out of here.
Get the fuck out of Dodge, yeah.
You were at Ruin 4, right?
Mm-hmm. How does that affect my mind? Because that's something we need to discuss. Yeah, like, yeah. We're supposed to discuss how this affects her mental state too, which we really haven't done.
You and the Catamount kind of run together for a bit until you're like, buddy. Until you're well and truly. Why do you hate him?
I hate it. It's so gross. Anyway, continue.
Until you run until you're well and truly like away from the coyote, and then you like stop to catch your breath. You see, there are conditions that I can apply to you as your ruin rises. So you're kind of bent over. This was way harder on your lungs than it should have been. You're bent over, like, wheezing, and you start coughing. Oh fuck, this might actually not be very this might be a bit too topical,
No, it's okay. Keep going.
given COVID, and it's like you like cough into your elbow, and eventually it passes, but you like look and your shirt sleeve there's like black dust in the crook of your elbow. Damn it, little guy.
I'm gonna try wiping it off and just pretending it never happened.
You kind of get it, but it's still there. It's there. It happened.
It happened.
And you can't fully remove the reminder of it.
She's like,
this is. What is this? It is also dark now. You didn't notice as you were running, but it seemed like in the blink of an eye, it became night. And
Alright, I'm gonna try and put together a fire. And just sort of sit down, and I don't know if the catamount's gonna stick with me or not.
No, it's kind of like I repaid my debt. You're messing with forces I don't want any part of. You can take it from here.
Okay.
It does kind of come over and like nudge under your hand a bit for like a scritch.
I pet it tentatively, terrified it's gonna bite me or something.
You can scritch the catamount once. And then it leaves.
And like,
hi, Oliver.
you know how in most games they're like, can you pet the dog? Can you pet the catamount? As in this game. And yes, you can pet the catamount. Once.
It will let you pet it once. Unlike Oliver, who...
Oh, baby boy. Yeah. Oh, baby boy.
Oh, you're so cute.
He's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
Back to licking himself.
Yep. Alright. You're gonna try and light a fire?
Yep.
Okay. Because, like, it was hot and muggy during the day, but it has suddenly, like, as it gets dark, it has gone, like, back to being, like, oh, it's October, huh?
Yeah, oof, okay. Hachi-machi. Sorry, the cries.
Guessing, like, A, you're not entirely sure where you are or how to get back, and B, you don't really want to lose all the progress you just made getting up this impossible mountain.
Yeah, exactly. Do I have to roll for my fire making, or?
No, I don't think fire making is that, like, just tell me how you do it.
Oh, okay. I mean, she knows wood pretty well, so she's gonna like gather her pieces of wood and stack them together, and she has a lighter. I'm gonna say she has a lighter on her in her bag, and she takes it out and she'll light some. She'll take my lighter out. Just gonna light her lighter, and she's gonna set fire to some underbrush and put it under the sticks and stuff that she's has so far, and light her fire.
Get a nice little blaze going.
Nice. Yeah. Let's set my lighter down so I don't keep playing with it. Because I will do that. I will just play with my lighter.
That's a mood.
Okay. And then
I
eventually
am
you just
tapping my dice together.
good.
Put those down so I can stop doing that.
Yeah, she's gonna like lay down, probably put her like her sweatshirt or something, ball it up and use it as a pillow and just kind of fall asleep.
Okay. Do 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 do. It doesn't like this isn't like something that's included in the rule book, but I say you have a weird ass dream.
Oh, fun. Love me some weird ass dreams.
Very hard to see. It's like you're back in the mine that you were in during Ring 1. It's like dark and dim. And then you sort of you emerge from this darkness and you're standing facing the entrance of a mine that you've never seen before. And it's and you go to take a step towards it and the coyote is there and it is toweringly huge. Like normally it's coyote size, but it has this big presence, but now it's like it's big and it is in your way and it does not want you going into that cave.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna push past it.
I don't know if I should make you roll because this is a dream.
I mean, it's up to you.
Roll me a roll. Oh, I forgot. One of the rules is if you use a risk roll to try and defeat a monster in hand-to-hand combat, you will die. Instead, you can, if you fight a monster but not to defeat it, for example, to fight your way past it like you're doing, you can roll normally.
Oh, okay. Dang.
Whee! But yeah, so this is a game where you do not get to kill the monster.
Dang.
So I don't know if this is something that includes a skill.
I don't think so either. I mean,
Would you like to make a devil's bargain?
Sure. I don't know what exactly I'll give up, but I'll gladly make one.
Okay. The to think of what
it's a good dream bargain to make.
Good dream bargain. You are going to have to give up something.
Okay.
Wait, let me think if I'm gonna make it more specific. Faces.
Say again.
Faces.
Faces?
Yeah,
Someone's face or just faces in general?
just faces in general. Don't worry about it.
I am wearing. Actually, I am wearing quite a bit about this.
It'll be revealed later.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if I want to add a ruin die or a dark die. I don't know. I'm gonna try my hand at just the one die. I'm gonna see if I can do it.
For a shot.
Okay, that's a 5, so it's a mixed
Okay,
success.
still in ring 3.
Yeah, we're still in ring 3.
A 5.
A 5,
Succeed. Kind of.
kind of.
You do push past it and manage to get past it, but it swipes at you. And you feel it kind of hit your shoulder. And you make it like just a step into the mine, and then you wake up.
I like shoot up and I grab my shoulders. It still hurt.
It hurts, but you can't feel any, like, the skin isn't broken.
Okay.
The cloth is still intact, but it hurts.
Yeah. All right. Is it morning yet?
Yes.
Alright, I sit up and I'll make sure the fire's out because I'm good with fire safety. And I'll check on the fire.
Actually, it's not morning yet.
Fuck.
Sorry, I didn't look at. I think I kind of want to skip ring 4 because it involves Wendigo, and I don't. That's a
I mean, if you want to.
cultural object that I do not want to mess with.
Yeah. I mean, you can just replace it with something else.
Can't just replace it with something else. But just so we're clear, it's still nighttime. I did not.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm still gonna check on the fire.
The rings very clearly. It's like embers.
Okay.
It looks, at first you're like, oh man, coal, but no, it's charcoal.
Okay.
Your brain is just kind of like coal.
Coal.
Just automatically. Now, so you're a little bit.
Alright. I don't think I'm gonna get back to sleep, so I'm actually gonna stand up and I'm gonna keep walking in the direction that the catamount was headed. Or it was directing me.
Do that. And as you're walking, like, off to the sides of this, like, imaginary path that you've set yourself with the. You are making forward progress, and you can tell that because the mountain seems to be getting, like, you seem to be making your way up it. But the creek is always, like, a set distance behind you.
I can always, like, hear it running behind me. Oh, okay.
And you're not, like, on a path. There's no path, but you are heading in a straight direction, sometimes having to kind of dodge around trees and rocks that are in the way, but off to the sides in the woods, you start to see these blue, like, glowing lights.
Oh.
And hearing little chimes.
Oh, jeez. I'm just gonna pretend I don't see them and keep walking. Are they in front of me too?
No, they're off to the sides of you, but
Okay.
none in front.
Okay.
Sometimes there's large groups, as if, and they get a little bit louder as if they've noticed that you're ignoring them, and they've gotten a bit like annoyed about it.
Oh, jeez.
Like, hey, look over here.
And I think at one point she does. She does look. She's gonna stop and look and stare, kind of frozen in terror.
Think you see, like, past them in the. You're going this way up the mountain, so it's over on this side where the mountain kind of is rising up. You think you see a cave open.
I'm gonna head towards that then. I'm heading towards that.
Okay. So you have your hand out a bit like, oh, what if it's not a real cave? What if it's
Yeah. Yeah.
But your hand doesn't meet anything. It really is an open space.
I'm gonna turn around and see if there's anything. Those things are following me.
They're not.
Okay.
They're floating. You walked past them and they stayed where they were.
Okay.
You're a little weirded out because, like, glowing orbs, but, like,
yeah.
This week has already been so goddamn weird.
My brewing is at 4. I'm pretty out there. Alright. She's gonna step inside the cave.
And it's at a bit of a decline, just slight, and it looks like here and there it has been as if it started getting hollowed out by human hands and then propped up with rafters. They're few and far between, but they are there, and each of them has an old flickering lantern hanging from it.
I'll take one down and I'll carry it with me.
They're positioned such that once, like, far enough apart that, like, once you get to one, you can't see the other one behind you.
Okay.
But it's not like if you turn around while you're halfway there, you can still see the one behind you.
Yeah, okay.
You go forward.
I go forward.
Forward. Along the way, you spot a couple of a pickaxe or two here and there. There's no, like, it looks like this part of the mine, the early part of the mine at least, has been kind of picked clean of coal, but
Okay.
But you see coal on, like, residue on the pickaxes, and you think there must be some down here. This mine doesn't look like it's been used in, like, decades, maybe.
Okay. Why was it abandoned? I think she says to herself. It still seems serviceable. And she's gonna keep walking.
Serviceable. You get a little echo.
Oh, jeez.
You start to It's very quiet.
Okay.
So you notice right away, like this, after you've been walking for a couple of minutes and you can no longer see the entrance, you start hearing it, like the drip of water.
Is there enough water on the ground that I can feel it splashing, or?
You can't see it, just you hear it before you like see any water, but you do eventually like make it to, there is a puddle like beneath you and water dripping.
Okay. I'm gonna put my
And it
hand
is for
out,
real water. It's
and
not
I'm going to
booze.
taste it to make sure that it is real water. And I go, oh, thank goodness. And I'll continue
It's
on.
metallic. It's a little bit like gross. It's water that you find in a cave. It has
Yeah.
a bit of that limestone
Ugh.
essence to it. It's but it is water.
Okay. I'll take it.
Take it.
Yep. And she'll continue on.
You hear more dripping. There's like, you saw one patch of water. There's probably going to be more.
Yeah. Each time I pass by a dripping thing, I'm gonna put my hand out and like let the water catch my hand, and keep passing by. Just making sure that it's still water every time.
It is the first 2 or 3 times you do that.
Okay. What happens the fourth time I do that?
You've kind of gotten used to it. You're not really like noticing it as much. You just like, oh, there's something. It's dripping. I'll just, and it feels wrong. It feels too viscous, and you rub your fingers and look, and there's very like old but still liquid blood.
I'm gonna keep walking, but I'm gonna walk faster.
Or at least you think it's blood.
I think it's blood, or it's very irony water. Keep walking. She's gonna whisper to herself, "It's just water. It's just water. It's just water. It's just water." And she's gonna keep going.
Further down, there's starting to be a bit of a like puddling around your feet. You're just like not gonna look at it.
I'm not gonna look at it.
It's just water. It's just water. You're not having a good night. Glory's not having a great.
She's not having a great night.
At least it's not booze.
At least it's not booze.
You get deeper, and the mine kind of gets a little narrower, a little darker. Still got your lantern though. And you're going deeper, and you start to hear this kind of like low rumble.
Aww.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Aww.
Very quietly.
I feel like at this point, as soon as the first drop of blood that she saw, Glory felt herself, her mind at least, was very much run, was screaming, run, get out of here, run. But her legs just keep walking down, and she just feels herself compelled to just keep walking further and further.
Yeah, ruin roll.
Okay.
Because you're having a bad time right now.
Yeah, I'm having a real bad time. That's a 5. My rune goes up.
5.
I'm at 5
You
now.
can start to decrease it.
I don't know if she wants to at this point. Or if she can, I think. She's starting to I think she's starting to lose. She's starting to fully almost dissociate in herself right now. She's starting to feel a disconnect between her body and her mind, and she's not sure whether she can even control herself. If she's not sure if she told her legs to stop, whether they would stop or not. And I think she just keeps going. That thrumming sound is just echoing in her skull, and it's just like pulling her forward.
As you're doing this, you start to feel. So your shoulder that was hurt in your dream, like the pain kind of flares up again. And you press it, you pull your hand away, and there is not blood, but a sticky black liquid, like coal dust mixed with water.
Or blood.
Or blood. Coal dust mixed with blood. It's...
Do I still hear that thrumming?
Yeah, it's getting louder. You feel like it's a giant heart beating and you are approaching its chamber.
Who?
And then the coyote appears.
Is this your
It's
home?
in your way. Again.
I call out to it. Is this your home? Do you belong here?
You're making it dark. Please, I was so well lit. It doesn't speak, but you get the feeling that it is not, that it is trying to tell you it's not its home, but it is something's home.
I don't want to know what lives here, but
It tilts its head. It looks very Labrador Retriever in that moment.
what do you want from me?
Kind of scratches at the dirt a little. And you see, like, where it kind of drags its claws, there's liquid welling up from the ground beneath it, and it looks at you, and then it, like, very deliberately, like, covers over the crack with dirt again and pats it and looks back up at you.
You want blood?
And it, like, smooths the dirt over the crack again, as if it's, like, filling it up. And pats it.
I don't understand. I'm just trying to find a mind. I'm trying to find Cole. I'm trying to find a way out. A way to help my pa. I didn't want this. I didn't want any of this. I didn't know. I didn't know this was here. I didn't know you were here.
It approaches, and very gently it takes, like, the hem of your shirt in its teeth and kind of tugs.
I let it pull
And then
me.
lets go and turns around, starts walking, looks back over its shoulder.
I'll follow. She's just like blank face, blank expression, just letting the mountain take over.
Absolutely McFucking losing it.
Yeah, she
At
is
this point,
lost
the
it.
story, the plot is becoming more mine than Linda Cadega's.
That's okay.
But we are going places with this. Hey, buddy. Buddy. And as you walk, you you start hearing like the sounds of like coughing. It's not really coming from anywhere, and the coyote kind of looks over its shoulder at you as if to say, like, that was a hint. It can't really communicate with you any clearer than it is. It slows down and stops at one point and kind of goes, "Oh," but then keeps like walking. And as you follow it, you realize that you're stepping over a pile of canid bones and a skull.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm gonna just keep walking past it. I think at this point, she is crying without realizing she's crying. So there are just tears streaming down her face at this point.
Get you. No, sorry. You eventually come into this like the mine doesn't go any further. It opens up into this cavern where you can hear the heartbeat very clearly, and you hear the ringing sounds of pickaxes against stone, and the sounds of people coughing, from, you assume, black lung.
Swapas.
And you hear the sounds of like, you hear faint like explosions, like from dynamite clearing out the mine, and the sound of a chainsaw, of chainsaws whirring and trees falling. And very faintly, someone else crying.
We're hurting you, aren't we? The mountain, the land, we're killing you, aren't we?
Coyote kind of comes over and it nudges your hand with its nose, as if to say, like, you're getting there, you're getting it.
I only wanted to help my pa. That's all I ever wanted. I didn't want this. And I don't want it to happen again to you. What will it take?
The other side of the cavern, a new tunnel opens up. This one is leading up a bit.
I look down at the
Then he
coyote.
nudges you towards it.
Yeah.
It tilts its head. It does the like Labrador Retriever head tilt. Golden Retriever.
I think for the first time she smiles. For the first time in a while, she smiles at it and will walk forward towards the new tunnel.
It stays where it is, but it doesn't stop you.
I think as soon as she like sets her path to where the tunnel is, she's closing her eyes. She does not want to see what's coming. And she just walks. Hand on the side of the wall to guide her.
Cannot see it, but the way into the cavern closes behind you. And you walk.
For how long?
A while. Starts to get quiet. Then you start to hear noise again, but it's like it's birds chirping and like insects buzzing. Even though your eyes are closed, you kind of start to see a bit of light behind them. You realize as you come out that it is daytime again.
She opens her eyes for the first time. Am I out in the forest? Is she out in the forest?
Side of the mountain. You're on a part of the mountain you've never like been before, but you can kind of like orient yourself towards town from here.
Yeah. Before she does that, she's gonna collapse to the ground and start sobbing.
Okay.
After what she just experienced.
We are going off the rails here. There is a completely different ending that Linda Kudega has written for Ring 5, but there's like it was written, I think, to play with a group of players, and there's only you, so we're doing this one.
Yeah, we'll handle it. It's fine. Yeah, she will collapse, and then after a good long cry, she's gonna stand and then breathe and walk home.
For you notice that the tunnel behind you has now become a shallow cave, but you can see a vein of coal there. But you can also see around you like seeds, saplings, and the smell of like fresh air. You notice it very clearly. And you kind of get it. You get what the mountain and the coyote were trying to tell you. Which isn't. You realize it wasn't that the coal behind you is like a reward for receiving the message. It's not saying don't mine necessarily. It's saying
don't take more than you are given.
And don't Don't kill each other over it.
Yeah.
Wear proper respirators.
Follow OSHA guidelines. Seriously.
Follow OSHA guidelines. The coyote and the mountain do not know what OSHA is, but if they could talk and they knew, they would have literally, they would not have gone through this song and dance. They would have just been like, OSHA motherfucker, do you speak it?
Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna go home. I don't know if we want to do like a little epilogue. Yeah? Okay.
Be our ring 5.
Yeah. She's gonna go home and she's gonna go tell she's not gonna tell anybody about this. I don't think. But she is going to tell
If you're trying to remember their names or just decide.
No, I'm trying to decide. She's gonna tell Rose where it is, because she keeps it
attacking my hands.
Oh, she's going to tell her where it is, and she's just gonna say, and you just say it was all from you. I want nothing to do with this.
We're gonna back up one step.
Okay.
Remember earlier when I said that for the devil's bargain, you were giving faces?
Yes.
You can recognize Rose. She has a very distinct way of carrying herself. You know what, like, how she tends to wear her hair, what kind of clothes. Like, this is Rose. You were looking at her. It's not as if, like, her face is gone, but you have suddenly gained face blindness.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, that tracks.
You're looking at her and you're just like, She is making expressions and you don't know what is happening there.
Yeah, I think her face is just going to be blank. She's just not going to react.
And Rose, when you tell her this, she like, you can't really tell what her face is doing but she like pats you on the shoulder and she sounds for once genuinely concerned. It's like, are you sure? I mean,
yeah,
with your paw and all.
I'll take care of it. I'll take up another shift, take up extra shifts, extra job. I'll be fine. It'll help the town, and helping the town will help my dad. Help Pa.
She hums. She's a little embarrassed to have her manipulation kind of thrown back at her with such like genuineness. She's like, I feel like a bad person.
It's because you are.
Yeah, she's having a rare attack of conscience, and she's just like, well, if you're sure.
I am.
Oh. Just for you, honey. You need anything, you can come to me. No strings.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. And she's just gonna walk off.
She kind of calls after you, like, and get some rest. I don't know where you've been the last day and a half, but you look terrible.
Yeah, she just puts up a hand and just walks home. Sleeps for a full day.
About right.
Yeah, and then tries to go back to her life.
A new mine is open. Like, time passes. You get used to not being it. You get used to having to like look at people's body language and hairstyle and like general clothing style in order to recognize them. Um, your dad doesn't get better, but he doesn't get worse either. Uh, eventually, the water does stop being moonshine, but people still hold up the habit of like singing
Oh.
when they're getting water because like they don't want to take the risk. As the months pass, event like in the spring, a new mine is open, where you had found the vein, but it's all it's very OSHA compliant. There's a lot of like attempts to make sure they're not disturbing the environment more than they absolutely have to.
Yeah. But yeah.
Make sure the workers are all as safe as they possibly can be.
Yeah. Good.
Sometimes you see like the black catamount.
Okay. Yay.
And sometimes you also see the white coyote,
Oh.
but it's like it's not like it's just kind of walking around. It's not like in your way or like really engaging with you. On at least one occasion you have like woken up to the sound of like the two of them just
going at it.
Are like not even really physically attacking each other, but as if they're having an argument, but in animal speak, they're not friends. But eventually everything like the town kind of goes back to normal,
but Glory doesn't.
Glory never like gets over that.
No, she never does. Huh. Okay. Is that it? Are we done? And scene.
The actual ending was a lot. I like hopeful endings, even for my horror.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the ending as written in the book is a lot different. In fact, the whole trajectory of the story is somewhat different from what I made it.
Yeah. That's okay. I really like where we went with this.
I was flying by the seat of my pants trying to figure out a way to like tie everything together as we were going. Like, why is the coyote in the way? What is the point? What is it trying to do?
Yeah. Oh man. No, that was really great. I think from my point of view, I think the horror that we did was really great. The style of horror is something I really, really enjoyed. Just that sort of unsettling, but still, but not like full on like you're doomed. But there was a point there where Glory was fully accepting of the fact that she might die, and she was willing to let it happen. I will say that. But
that is because I'm a weenie. And we did have to like sift through some games to find a nice like Halloween-y horror-y game that I could play without crying.
Yeah.
And a lot of the imagery I was taking directly from what Linda Kadega has written. They're very good at images.
Yeah, they're incredibly
imagery
good.
of it. But I definitely lightened some of it somewhat. I prefer to walk that line between like full-on horror and like hopefulness.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing. If you do horror well, that's how you make a good story with horror, is by just putting a little touch of hope in there, so you don't leave the story without feeling like you're dying,
Yeah.
or feeling awful about yourself or everything else. But yeah, thank you, Linda Kadega, for for making this little port of Trophy Dark. Thank you
Thank
to
you, Hedge Maze Press, for making a Trophy Dark.
yeah. Um, I'm actually very curious about other systems using this system because I really like the ruin and the devil's bargain, all those things.
I
And
would love to play a longer campaign with a larger group.
me too. We have things in the work. You and I, we have
Yeah,
ideas.
we have we have plans, we have schemes,
we have shenanigans. We have other words for
we have
schemes.
more content that we would like to bring you all.
So much more content.
Content.
Content. But thank you for watching and for stopping by for this lovely spooky Halloween episode of Indie TTRPG Nights. Stay tuned for tomorrow, where we're going to be playing something, maybe Among Us, maybe Minecraft, who knows. We'll probably be deciding that like an hour before we play, but who knows? Because that's how we roll. And then catch me. We can find you. Are you streaming on Monday?
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
I did not stream this past Monday because I had a cold.
Oh.
And I was just like miserable about it for a couple of days. But I will hopefully be streaming
Good.
this Monday over on my channel, Small Vico.
Yep.
Come doodle and chat with me.
Hell yeah. I know I will be. Yeah,
Yay.
and then stop by on Wednesday while I play another game, whatever that is. Who knows? And then next Friday, possibly, or it's our dates usually Friday or Saturday. I am part of a Pathfinder stream where we play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I play a lovely wizard named Cleo, and she's just the sunshine of a girl. And
she's a huge bitch, but I love her anyway.
She's a very huge bitch. But yeah, you can stop by there. That's over at Racius or ADHG Gaming, or ADHG. I'll get it right eventually. But you can follow him over at Racius, RACIEUS, Racius, on Twitch. And you can find everything else here and on my YouTube channel at Avery Sisente. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Don't fuck with the environment.
Don't fuck with the